everybody, thanks for joining me. In honor of Memorial Day, I do hope that each of you took just a moment to reflect on what this holiday is all about. As a former military dependent that spent more than 20 plus years living on or near military bases, I've seen firsthand the sacrifices that our military members face. I have family members in all of the branches of the services: Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard. I've had friends injured in combat and others that gave the ultimate sacrifice of their life. I bow my head and remember these sacrifices. Since I personally knew some of these people, I can say that if they were alive today, they would raise their glasses with me and salute their fallen brothers and sisters. Thanks to each of you from the bottom of my heart. In keeping with the spirit of the holiday, let's talk about vacationing to places that the military celebrate. Now, I know that cemeteries aren't necessarily the most thought of places when you're planning your vacations, but if you've ever seen a national cemetery, they are beautiful and so rich in history. If you've ever been able to go to Washington, D.C., Arlington Cemetery should be on the top of your list of places to visit. If you've seen the changing of the guard, which I've been able to see several times, at the unknown soldier's grave, it's always awe-striking, and it's just indescribable, the sense of respect and honor. Another absolute favorite place of mine in this category is USS Arizona in Hawaii. Again, not what you'd think of when you're planning a vacation to the beach, but this is a must-see. The experience will live in your heart forever. I lived on Guam for a couple of years, and there were many historic World War II sites. Once, while we were out sightseeing with the kids, a Japanese gentleman approached me to ask me if he could get a picture of his granddaughter with my daughters on an old Japanese cannon. You see, he was a Japanese soldier during that time, and he had been stationed on Guam when it was occupied by Japan. For me, this picture represents the progress and forgiveness. If you scuba, Guam is an amazing place to dive. There's actually many historic sites, but there's one site in particular that is two ships that are shipwrecks from two different wars, both World War I and World War II, and there's a place where they actually touch. It's pretty amazing to be able to scuba, be underwater, and touch two different ships from two different shipwrecks at the same time that they actually touch. It's just a pretty awesome experience. There's just so many historical sites that you should think about going to see. I wish I could review all of them for you and give you all the details. For me, the fun of going to these sites is hearing the stories from the people that live there. Sorry, there's a fly trying to take over the show. They're able to tell you these stories and let you know what happened. It's their perspective. It gives history a human factor, and it's much more memorable than what we learn in books. For those sites that are from the distant past, read the historic markers. Often there are tidbits of information that don't make it to our history books. When you're ready to plan a trip that includes historical landmarks, take the time to research what you want to see. Stop and check out sites along the way, and even if they aren't on your list of must-sees. Don't forget to look in your own backyard. Just a couple of years ago, I went to a park that's just a few miles from my house in a really small town where I grew up, and discovered that it was an old Civil War site. It was pretty interesting. Lots of markers there. It was a pretty big Civil War site. If you found any value in this, please feel free to comment below. You can like and share with your friends. If you scroll down a little further, you can see the like and share buttons. If you have questions about where to find places to go, as always, you can contact me by leaving a comment below. I always like to hear your stories as well. And you can go to my contact page and leave some information if you'd like to find out a little more information about traveling at wholesale prices to 5-star locations, and maybe changing your opinion about what is affordable for you and your family. I look forward to hearing from you. And again, see you soon.